Greetings, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. My name is Marnita, the Queen Connectress Casa, and I am so glad to be here to introduce you guys to a wonderful man and to a wonderful presentation. Now, before we get started, as you guys are coming in here, please put your name and where you are located in the chat box because I want to be able to give you guys a wonderful shout out to tell you guys Happy New Year's. I hope you had as wonderful and blessed as a new year as I did. Okay, so we're at the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and get started. I am very honored and excited to introduce to you guys a man that has made 6 to 8 figures in his career. He dominated the network marketing space for the last 25 years. His academy, his crypto education, is used by companies and universities around the world. He has traveled through the United States, putting on these wonderful and fun Bitcoin boot camps to bring anybody and everybody who wants the education and information exactly what they need. And now he is here to bring all of that to you. So without further ado, here is Brandon Ivy. Brandon, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Miss Casa, for that introduction. And I got to give it back to you. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good New Year with your family in cold ass Colorado. Uh, I was nice and warm here in Los Angeles. So welcome everybody. I give it back. Miss Casa has been an extreme help with the ILCA community all of 2022. You're going to see her doing a lot more roles in 2023 as we get started. So I want to thank her for all of the help support she's had for not only myself, but our marketing team with James Hendricks and his team and all of you. So thank you, Miss Casa. And so let's get started with everybody. I mean, Happy New Year. Are you guys excited? Are you ready for this new year? Do you have your New Year's goals and resolutions and everything in place? See, I've said this before. New Year's for me does not start on January 1st. New Year's started on October 1st. That was New Year's Day for me. And so I've spent the last 3 months preparing for today so that we're not on the starting line just getting started. We're actually sprinting into the new year. So I want to first say congratulations to all of you that has been watching the ILCA community. You've been a part of this. This is the hottest community out there. Just wait till you see us in the next year, 2 and 3 years. We will be the hottest community to be a part of, not only in the direct selling space, but in the crypto world, personal development world, and everything. Bringing to you great content, a nice family-friendly environment, and where you're going to learn and earn at the same time. So what do we have for you for 2023? Well, in 2018 was the first time I wrote courses for crypto education. And the courses were Bitcoin 101, Crypto Advanced, and How to Trade Bitcoin and Cryptocurrencies. And for years, that's all we've had. I've been able to market those courses to other companies and businesses and universities, and I have different clients that use my courses. They're still hot today. I redid most of them earlier last year to be up with the times. But now, 2 years in the making, I've been trying to create some new courses to add to this series and just never, for whatever reason, was able to get it done. I did finish one last year, the Internet of Things, which is still highly underrated. I think a lot of people still don't know that course. I only did training on it once all year. So we've got the Internet of Things, but also dropping, and I just got word because my CMO is off on spending holidays in New York, and his whole team is scattered to the winds. So dropping next week officially, the video, everything's already uploaded. They just got to do the graphics and everything behind the scenes and the coding. So dropping next week is going to be decentralized finance, 13 courses for that, or lessons, video lessons in decentralized finance. That is going to be the backbone of the entire future of the blockchain, metaverse, NFTs, all going to be running through decentralized finance or DeFi. That's dropping. Then another course called NFTs, 18 videos, 18 videos of NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And then also Metaverse, 15 videos of the Metaverse. So those of you who have followed me for years, I've always talked about the river of money. And why did I get involved in the crypto industry? I shared this when I did the secret call last week. Is not because I'm just passionate about Bitcoin and crypto and blockchain. It's because I recognize that this is where the river of money is being pointed. I am passionate about opportunity. And the biggest opportunity that the world has ever seen is in this whole blockchain crypto space. And the platform that it's all pointing to is something called the Metaverse. So the Metaverse is so big that I don't just have one course, I have two of them. The first one is launching next week. The second one, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months from now, I'll launch the second one. But we're talking about more than 30 videos just on the Metaverse. So tonight, since this is New Year's, since I want to show you the power of this, I'm going to do something that I've never done before publicly. I'm going to do a live training on one course from my Metaverse series. And it's in line because I'm an educator, and we're going to call it's called Education in the Metaverse. Now, every Tuesday and Wednesday night, I do a live training with my courses with those who are called founding members of ILCA, meaning you've bought all of my courses or you are on my $199 a month pack. If you've already bought all my courses last year, because the founding member is now closed, nobody can now become a founding member. That ship has sailed. So here's some things that's not coming back. The $500 promo, that's gone. The prior student discount, meaning anybody who was in any of my companies prior and bought my courses before, I gave you all year to be a part of the ILCA community at half the cost. That's now gone as well. Also gone is I was giving a discount to all of our VIP members of our courses for $997. That's also gone. The price right now for VIPs is $1,495. The price for everybody else, $2,999 for all of my courses, more than 100 videos. No, this is not YouTube stuff. All right. This is the real deal. So for $199, even if you don't get all of my courses, you will still be able to attend our Tuesday and Wednesday night courses where I teach live. And the next course is not going to be until January 10th, a week from this coming Tuesday. And that we're going to cover in January. We're going to be covering two things, DeFi and the Metaverse. Now, we also popularized something last year called the 5-day challenge, where once a month for 1 week, we give the public access to learn about some basics of blockchain and crypto and Bitcoin. And the topics that we cover are lessons from our Bitcoin 101 series that I do for free. We talk about what is cryptocurrency, what is blockchain technology, who is Satoshi Nakamoto, what's wallets, how do I buy Bitcoin and crypto? And then on the 5th day, we talk about how do I make money in crypto? Unlocking the money side of things. And that's been our topics all year. Well, tomorrow is the very first 5-day challenge beginning for 2023. And the topics are different. This week, I'm only having 5 guest panelists. Dr. Byron Nelson tomorrow night. Professor Oscar Sistrunk from Morehouse College on Tuesday night. James R. Davis, millionaire earner in crypto, on Wednesday night. My executive assistant, you just saw her, Miss Marnita Casa, on Thursday. And then Friday, Mr. Day 5, Herschel Crow, on Friday night. Now, the topics is Monday and Tuesday night. We're going to talk about NFTs. So if you've ever wanted to know, what are NFTs? How do I get in? What is this thing? We have 2 courses from the NFT courses that we're going to cover on Monday and Tuesday night. Wednesday and Thursday night, we're going to cover 2 lessons from the metaverse. And then tonight, I'm doing something special. I'm going to cover a lesson from the metaverse. So that means this 3 weeks out of 15 of my lessons in metaverse, you're going to be able to see 3 of them out of the 15. I think that's a good deal at no cost. I like that. My CMO doesn't like that. He don't like me giving away nothing for free. But I understand what you guys, getting you guys exposed to this, and hopefully you'll find enough value that you say, yes, I do want these courses. So tonight's going to be a highlight, and I'm going to jump into it now. We're not going to be doing Q&A tonight, though. So that's going to be saved for our VIP members that join us for the 5-day challenge. And also that if you were a VIP last year, in 2023, to remain a VIP, you got to be of 2 things. The first, if you are one of my memberships, $69 a month, $99, or $199, it comes with VIP. So you get VIP backstage access all year. The second is if you pay the $97 one time. Pay $97 one time, and you get VIP access for the rest of the year. You know what? I needed to change that link because it's not just ILCA secrets. Hold on a second. I'll put it up here. Let's edit this. /sales page. That's the one. So let me let this scroll. ILCAsecrets.com/sales page. That's where you go to get the $97 one time, or you can become what I call our silver membership for $69 a month. $69 a month gets you the inner circle, VIP, and you're able to be a promoter of ILCA and earn 20% commissions when you share this with other people. Like I said, who wants to make $1 million selling crypto education? You can do that right here. So let's get into our lesson tonight. Never before seen. I'm actually a little nervous about this, and I do this all the time, but this is a long time in the making. We're going to talk about education in the metaverse. All right, make sure that you guys can see my screen. We're all good there. Good evening, everybody. Now, this is informal, which means I'm probably going to go off on some tangents. All right. So first, since this lesson is actually number 13 in my series, so there's 12 lessons before this. So let me, for those of you who have no clue or idea what the metaverse is, you may think it's this. You see this right here? VR headset, right? No, this VR headset represents a virtual world. A virtual world is only one aspect of the metaverse. What's the difference between a virtual world like Second Life, MMOs, Fantasy Online, Fortnite, if you got kids that be playing that, Grand Theft Auto, where you've got characters in the worlds running around? That's a virtual world. What makes the metaverse unique is that it is taking advantage of blockchain technology so that you can have control and ownership of not only your avatar, your character, but of anything that's generated in this world. It is a duplicate of real world into this 3D virtual world. In other words, you're looking at me right now through your computer. We call this 2D. Imagine if I was doing the same talk inside of a big conference room, and every single one of you is not just a name on the screen, but you actually have a physical character in there where you're able to walk around and interact with everybody in a 3D environment. That's just a small example of the metaverse. Everything that you do right now with your screens, and what do I mean by screens? Because the evolution of screens, there needs to be a whole documentary on this, starting off with television sets, then move to computers, then move to your cell phones. These are all screens. And these screens is just what people are using to interact socially through the internet with each other for entertainment, work purposes. When COVID hit, what everybody do had to work from home. My kid missed his entire 8th grade year, half of 7th grade and all of 8th grade. He did it on Zoom. I mean, what if he was in a 3D immersive environment in the classroom with the teachers and his friends and other classmates? Completely different experience. This is so big that every single government and bank on the planet and major corporation is not just researching metaverse. They are already in it. And my courses are going to break down to you how. See, some people say, Brandon, why should I get your course? I just go to YouTube. You don't even know what questions to ask. My courses will take you through step by step by step, the next iteration. So yes, this course is jumping ahead, but it follows what I do. I educate. So let's get into this. Education in the metaverse. Oh, let me get my mic down here and make sure you guys can hear me. If I'm off, let me know. The metaverse is upon us. Soon, it will be as omnipresent as TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, which is now Meta. You ever wonder why? Why did Facebook get into the metaverse? They've already got 2 billion followers, members, data. It only makes sense for them to create their own virtual type world. The problem, I personally do not think that they will succeed long term. I don't think so. Not because they don't have a great idea, but because of their name brand. People don't trust them. The average person on Facebook right now is 41 years old or older. So we're talking about a whole new generation of kids that don't use Facebook. They're going to be using different metaverse applications. So I think that Mark Zuckerberg missed the boat on this, but he's got a great idea. So as technology advances to bring us new immersive and imaginary worlds, how we educate children and prepare teachers must also advance to meet these new opportunities. I have another course that's even called Jobs in the Metaverse. And I used to say this for years. Those of you who've been following me, who was there at the beginning, Miguel, you remember when we had KGX back in the day. I see Bouger, you remember 2018. What did I always say? I said blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today, whether you like it or not, believe it or not, trust it or not. Your opinion is irrelevant. It's going to happen. I said you're going to be driving down the street and you're going to see Bitcoin ATM machines all over the place. You're going to go into a coffee shop, Starbucks, and they're going to say we now accept crypto. But then the third thing that I said, if you guys remember this, I said you're going to go to your job. And your job is going to say, your employer is going to say, you need to open up a wallet because we're now selling our products in crypto and we're going to pay you in digital currency of some form. Remember me saying that? Well, this whole metaverse thing, imagine your job is now going to be moved virtually. When people got to stay home from COVID, and then when they said, all right, COVID's over, y'all got to come back to the office. Do you think people really was fighting to get back to the office? It felt good rolling out of bed and only putting on a shirt and getting in front of a camera. Do you know 90% of the time when you see me on camera like this, I ain't got nothing on below. I'm just saying. I roll out of bed and come into my office and turn the camera on, put on a shirt. But this is going to be the future. Well, that's that course. I don't want to get into that. You guys will, if you get the metaverse courses, you will get that. Oh yeah, I did used to say that, Miguel. This is the biggest thing since agriculture. I used to say that. I think I was using that with the quote with Vladimir Putin. All right. When education lags the digital leaps, the technology, rather than educators, defines what counts as educational opportunity. This is largely what happened with the introduction of educational apps designed to be used on smartphones and tablets meant for adults. Education and the metaverse. I mean, the possibilities is just endless. Today, as the metaverse infrastructure is still under construction, researchers, educators, policymakers, and digital designers have a chance to lead the way rather than get caught in the undertow. To leverage the potential of the metaverse as a 3D, global, interconnected, immersive, and real-time online space, we need new ways to connect the physical world with augmented and virtual reality. Can you imagine a doctor being able to go into this metaverse and practice surgery? I mean, just think of the opportunity. Think of Tony Stark's Iron Man. How he built the Iron Man suit before he actually built the Iron Man suit with Jarvis and using this augmented reality stuff. The applications of metaverse are not only limited to the gaming sector, but there is a lot of metaverse that can do for the education sector. Let's find out what the scope of metaverse for education is. The term metaverse has been in the news since many big companies like Facebook brought it up. In the present time, one could not help but wonder how the metaverse will shape up. You can think of the metaverse as a future form of the internet. It is. Think of it like that. How many of you missed the internet? Are you old enough? Okay, I don't want to age anybody here. Or is any of you old enough to take advantage of the internet in the 90s from an investor standpoint? I graduated from high school in 94, college in 98. So I came up of age when I first started to use the internet. Didn't know what email was. My professor, Professor Oscar Sistrunk, who's going to be teaching on Tuesday night, he was the first that was forcing the students at Morehouse to use email. He was like, I'm emailing you stuff. You know, you can chat with us and keep in touch through email. That was a foreign concept. But what if somebody told you, hey, yeah, I'm part of Google, and we're looking for people who want to invest $100,000. How where do you think you'd be at today? There were people who were critics of the internet. There were people who said the internet was going to fail after the dot-com bubble burst. People who said the internet, it's not here. See, we told you it's not going to work. Do you realize that 95% of the companies that were here with the internet in the 90s are gone today, meaning they're no longer in business? Does that mean the internet was gone? No. I say the same thing in crypto. 90% of all the crypto stuff that's out there right now will be gone when crypto finally starts to hit its stride. So the term metaverse has been in the news since many big companies like Facebook brought it up. In the present time, one could not help but wonder how the metaverse will shape up. You can think of the metaverse as a future form of the internet, including various shared and persistent 3D virtual spaces associated with a perceived virtual world. Knowing what you know now about the internet, and they're telling you that this is going to be the next version of the internet, I think we all could agree this is something we need to know about. This is something we need to pay attention to. This is something we need to be prepared for, because as every single one of you has a banking institution and you've got cards, guess what? They are all going to be in the metaverse, and they already are. Whatever bank you're with right now, take that name, put metaverse next to it, and Google it, and you will be shocked what you find. However, most of the attention is around developing the metaverse rounds in the gaming sector. On the other hand, the applications of metaverse for education purposes will also gain momentum in the long run. How? Is the metaverse suitable for the world of education? Can students concentrate on their studies in a world filled with digital avatars and gaming experiences? I say yes. You can find the answers to these questions by reflecting on some of the prominent use cases of metaverse in education. The following discussion gives you an overview of the promising ways in which the metaverse can change education and learning. I'm an educator, and let me tell you a couple of things that's wrong with the current system right now. The current system education is built upon one point of view, a Eurocentric, only one style of learning based on taking tests and memorizing information and your ability to regurgitate what you've memorized. Not everybody learns that way. I have a learning disability called auditory processing disorder. I don't learn that way. I learn a different way. I remember I grew up in, I went to elementary school at Walnut Elementary. And I remember there was a test. And the test it was about a log in the cabin. And it had different images. And it said, which one of these images doesn't belong? And I couldn't figure it out. And the reason why is because one of the logs on the side of the cabin had snow on top of the logs, and there was no snow anywhere else. So one, I didn't make that connection, but two, I ain't never seen snow before because I was born and raised in Southern California. I never been up to the mountains yet. I didn't grow up with snow outside. I didn't know that snow's not to be in some places than others. People learn differently. The metaverse can address all of that. Many different ways for learning. So you can find the answers to these questions by reflecting on some of the prominent use cases of metaverse in education. Here's the vision. I want you to imagine this for a second. Imagine a circular classroom. Okay, you guys are in this classroom, surrounded by whiteboards and populated with movable chairs. Energized students are mesmerized by the tales of the Greek myths, the power of Zeus, the god of the sky, and stories of the great Hercules, his son, whose strength was legendary. Suddenly, a timeline is projected into the middle of the floor. Children whisk away their chairs to stand in the present, ready to move backward and descend into the year 300 BC, a year in which they will encounter a new reality. They enter the metaverse of Greek culture. Carts buzz by them. Traders and marketplaces surround them. And high atop the hill, they see with their own eyes the temples of the gods and the people who worship them. They explore, they ask questions, they ponder, they learn. Now, normally we read this in a book and we got to use our imagination, but imagine technology that actually takes you there and puts you in that world. The experience was designed to whet the appetite of the students, but the questions remained. How could we possibly know about the richness of Greek life if we did not live there? How do we discover what was sold at the marketplace and which gods were all important? Then the teacher positions each child on the timeline so that they return to the present. The walls around them turn to images of brown dust in which they see ruined old temples and pieces of columns dotted along the ground. Each child is now given a chance to become the archaeologist, to use her avatar to find the answers to the questions of how we construct the past while nested squarely in the future or the present. The avatars are equipped with a shovel, a brush, and are given a plot to till. I remember in elementary school, we took a trip to a museum where it was about looking at dinosaurs, and they had this area, this pit, like a sandbox. And we got to go in the sandbox and shovel and dig for the dinosaur bones, and then we got the little brush and do that. So we had like a real experience. Imagine not having to take a field trip to make this happen. You're doing it from the classroom. The teacher continues. The society that you witness, like all societies of times past, became buried in the dirt. Each layer of dirt is like a storybook that you can uncover and piece together. The children move their avatars and begin to examine the dirt in a new way, in a careful and inquisitive way. Each finds shards of pottery and even partial faces of statues that once stood tall. After 20 minutes of working the soil, they show their discoveries to the others in the class. Opportunities for collaborative learning and co-creation are embedded into the virtual and real learning spaces they have built together. Piercing their shards together as if they were solving a historical puzzle, They find an urn and a statue. They learn that the myths are more than stories. They were part of a bygone religion called paganism that real people practiced during time now buried beneath the earth's surface. Archaeologists like them helped to rediscover that society. Can you imagine if we have the technology now where I could say, yeah, I want to go visit, I don't know what my grandparents were life was like for them in Louisiana in the 30s and 40s. We can actually go there. This deep, transferable learning that will last a lifetime comes to us by virtue of the metaverse, delivered in a hybrid, guided play environment that could represent the school of the future. But notice that the interaction is inherently social, with live people and live moment to moment, emotionally laden interactions. And notice that the teachers are still crucial to this experience. Make no mistake that the metaverse is coming. It is our job to specify how engagement in this always on virtual universe augments education rather than detracts from it, and how it can preserve the key socially interactive qualities that are core to how humans learn. How many of you love to travel? You know, the one thing about Americans is that most Americans have never been outside of 50 miles of where they live. At most, maybe travel to different states. But most Americans don't travel overseas, don't get exposed to other cultures that aren't already here. And it could be due to cost and just lack of wanting to. But I've got another lesson called the cities in the metaverse, and it's talking about digital twins and mirroring cities and what cities are doing right now. And all of them are, by the way. I got one in there about Santa Monica, New York. And what they're doing is they're mapping the entire city all the way down to the light posts. Just like how you've got Google Maps, or if you're trying to do directions, you can have a city view, and they have the Google cars driving down the street, mapping everything. It's more detailed than that. And that for their tourist industry, you're able to, from your home, put on headset goggles, 3D, not even 3D, you can even do it from 2D. And now you're taking a virtual tour. You can visit the city and go everywhere in the city. Can you imagine that? But now imagine the city's populated with real other people too. And they're all other tourists or native. Imagine natives in those cities setting up shop in the metaverse, selling their goods and wares. Just like how many of you have seen this? If you've gone on a cruise, and every time the cruise pulls up to port, the first place you go through when you get off that boat is always vendors lined up to sell all the foreigners some stuff. Tourism industry. When I was in Greece, Mykonos, Corfu, all lined up, and everybody couldn't wait. And they sucked us in by saying free Wi-Fi, because on the boat we didn't have no Wi-Fi signals. Free Wi-Fi. What if you don't have to leave your house and you can experience that? Now, of course, nothing's going to beat the real thing. For now, you ever seen Ready Player One? People would rather live in the virtual world than in real life. All right. Like I said, I go off on tangents. Let me keep straight here. Is Metaverse fit for education? Before diving into an outline of the educational applications of Metaverse, it is important to identify the Metaverse fundamentals. How will the Metaverse fit with educational purposes? If you take a closer look at the definitions of the Metaverse, you will find that it is basically a fully functioning digital world existing beyond the boundaries of physical reality. Basically, the metaverse would bring together fragmented virtual worlds in a shared and persistent digital space. You can also think of the metaverse as the future collection of all virtual and augmented reality experiences, alongside the interactions between virtual spaces and the real world through IoT, Internet of Things. I got that course, by the way, and AI and machine learning. I got a course about artificial intelligence in the metaverse as well. Also, Interpol, crime in the metaverse. Did you know that Interpol already has a whole division, and they built their own, well, they copied their office in Lyon, France, in the metaverse that you can visit. Because they know where there are people, there will be crime. So they're already all over it. A broader classification of the metaverse would bring you face to face with 4 important concepts, such as augmented reality, life logging, virtual reality, and mirror worlds. All of these concepts provide a detailed impression of using metaverse technology to drive use cases in the education sector. Let us learn about these 4 aspects of the metaverse with a brief overview for each of them. Augmented reality. How many of you know about that? Think of Pokemon Go. Remember that? That's augmented reality. Augmented reality, or AR, basically involves the creation of a smart environment through utilizing location-based technology and networks. It helps in creating a digital overlay over real-world objects according to your desired specifications. Some of the important applications of AR have been evident in smartphones alongside vehicle HUDs. The most popular example of AR is Pokemon Go. AR technology can help in creating digital overlays over real-world objects for making the objects three-dimensional in nature. You can explore different use cases of metaverse in education with augmented reality by driving various educational implications. For example, AR can help in the visual examination of invisible parts and solve problems faster. AR can empower an in-depth overview of the content, thereby reducing the difficulty in observation and comprehension of text. Furthermore, interactive experiences such as writing and reading could also create different immersive, engaging experiences. Let me ask you guys this question. Can you imagine having goggles or a headset or even glasses or contact lenses that as you're walking down the street and you look at a restaurant, all of a sudden, when you look at it, advertising of the restaurant pops out in front of you. The menu pops up in front of you. The meal of the day. Or you're walking down the street and you see people and information about that in person because of facial recognition pops up. You look at a car driving down the street and it tells you how fast that car is moving. Think of the first time I saw something like this was the movie RoboCop in the 80s. And I thought it was so cool that everything he saw, little information was popping up in his visor, like a HUD, like those of you in the military, you fighter jets, heads up display. Or you're gonna see this in all future cars. Your windshield is gonna be a computer screen, and information is gonna be popping up on that screen so that you can keep your eyes up here and not looking down here. Oh, just wait, you ain't seen nothing yet. Drivable cars and things like that. But I'm gonna ask you ladies a question. If you went into a bar and you're there to mingle, you're single, and a guy comes up to you and he's trying to strike up a conversation, and because of the facial recognition in your contact lens, all their history and information pops up. It lets you know if they're married or single. You know that right away. You don't have to look for a ring. Let you know how many kids they have, where they're employed. Do they have a criminal record? Where they're from? Would you want to know all that information, or does that take away from the whole experience of getting to know somebody? It's a difficult question for some people. It can save a lot of people, right? But it can also, some of that information may not be 100% accurate. Unless you know. That's right, like the Teslas out there. But it's coming. Privacy. How much privacy are we able to have? Who has access to our information with this? All right, that's another road to go down. Life logging. Life logging is another important concept in using metaverse for education and learning use cases. It is the technology for capturing, storing, and sharing information in everyday experiences with people and objects. Life logging focuses on the use case of augmented technology. And some of the practical examples of the same refer to black boxes and wearable technology. For example, Apple Watch, Samsung Health are prominent real world uses of life logging. Life logging focuses on the documentation of daily life and thoughts with productive outcomes. This whole life logging thing is going to be instrumental when it comes to the next generations, your children, grandchildren, great grandchildren will know what your favorite meal is. Everything you do is being recorded and stored. It's not no longer a guess. Only thing I know about my great grandfather, my dad's grandfather, that my dad never met because he passed away before my dad was born. Only thing I know about him is that at some point in his life, he operated elevators in buildings, because they had man operators at that time, and that he was a railroad porter, and he died because he ended up falling off the train some kind of way in an accident. That's it. That's all I know. I don't know the sound of his voice. I don't know. Well, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of him. I don't know. But my great 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 grandchildren will know everything about me just from what's already out there on social media. They'll definitely know my voice. They'll know what I look like. They'll know everything that I'm doing right now is for them. They're going to be watching this exact video later and know I'm talking. It's like I'm talking to the future. God willing, that my legacies can keep going. This is life logging. Focus on the documentation of daily life and thoughts with productive outcomes. It can help in driving use cases of metaverse for education by focusing on self-learning experiences. You can review and reflect on the daily events of an individual's life. The metaverse can thus offer a vital tool for representing and implementing the feedback and learning from one's life and practice. It also enables avenue for exploring different types of information from a critical perspective. Life logging can also help in reflecting on different learning experiences alongside improving creative reconstruction of the information. It even goes deeper than this. You guys ever heard of a gentleman by the name of Jared Kushner? Married to Ivanka Trump. And he made a statement publicly that I don't think he was supposed to, where he said, they asked him, he said, people make fun of you because you look like you're like a 12-year-old boy. And he does. And he's about my age. And he said, well, I'm trying to keep myself and my body and everything fit and looking young. I'm trying to freeze the aging process. If you eat right, you're exercising right, you actually can freeze the aging process. Doesn't mean that you don't get older. It just means your quality of life will be better. You're healthier. And when they asked why, he said, well, because I'm trying to buy time. He said, I am either will be the last generation to die or the first generation to live forever. What? What do you mean live forever? This is the type of stuff he's talking about. Not tonight. Let me not go there. Not tonight. Mirror world. The concept of the mirror world also matters significantly for various use cases of metaverse in education. And I like that, Mr. O'Brien. I'm going to bring that up too. Religion in the metaverse. That's actually going to be a topic on part 2, my metaverse courses. Religion in the metaverse. Make sure I had mentioned that. But the concept of the mirror world also matters significantly for various use cases of metaverse in education. Mirror worlds are actually a specific type of simulation of the external world, which is actually an enhanced virtual counterpart of the real world. One thing I like when I was playing Grand Theft Auto, the latest one is a representation of my city, LA. And there are parts in that game that is exactly how it is in real life. Santa Monica Pier, downtown, the buildings, it's exactly the same. I've walked that same area. Mirror worlds. You can think of mirror worlds as the metaverse where physical traits of the real world are translated to virtual reality. Map-based services such as Google Earth are the best examples of implementing the mirror world concept. The mirror world is also another critical factor for addressing how education will change with the metaverse, as it could provide immersive virtual learning spaces. Mirror worlds could help in overcoming the spatial limitations and physical restrictions on learning and education. For example, online video conferencing tools can serve as representative mirror worlds for conducting online real-time classes. Virtual reality. Think of Ready Player One. If you have not seen that movie, I strongly suggest every person see it, whether you are a fan of this technology or not. At least you have an idea of what's coming. Another significant aspect of the metaverse that will play a crucial role in driving educational applications of metaverse is virtual reality. It basically denotes the type of metaverse capable of simulating the inner worlds. You can think of virtual reality as a digital space developed by using digital data from interaction activities between avatars and the environment itself. So, how do these four aspects of the metaverse influence education? The educational implications of these four aspects serve crucial implications for transforming conventional approaches to education and learning. You should also take the educational implications of virtual reality into consideration when seeking information on educational applications of metaverse. VR can serve milestone advancements in education by enabling virtual simulations of practical demonstrations in digital environments. For example, a risk management training session on fire control can be costly in the real world. However, a VR simulation of firefighting exercises can easily serve as a cost-effective alternative. Engaging guides. The first and foremost answer for how will the metaverse change education draws references towards the immersive experiences in the metaverse. Teachers don't have to show an image or video or read from books anymore in the metaverse. As a matter of fact, teachers can show their students how a particular machine is created or how a process happens at the molecular level. The immersive experiences in the lessons ensure that students are more likely to remember the lessons. It's called muscle memory. So I said how people and kids learn differently. Some kids are good at taking tests. Some kids are good at memorization, but not everybody. But what if they actually experience it? Just like we just finished last month, how to trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for our founders. And a lot of them had never traded before. And the moment they began to actually do it and trade it and apply it, it's like light bulbs went off in their head. And now, thousands of dollars later, they're just actively doing it. So here, if you're teaching kids, what if the kid is actually experiencing it rather than just reading it boringly in a book? The immersive experiences in the lessons ensure that students are more likely to remember the lessons. Integrated learning. The use of metaverse for education would also rely largely on the prospects in the metaverse for moving seamlessly between different virtual spaces. For example, you don't have to worry about clearing your doubts about how electrons flow in your body when understanding conductivity. The metaverse can allow improved prospects for amalgamation of multiple subjects. I couldn't say, do you know how many times I had to retake doing this video? I couldn't say amalgamation. I kept saying amalgamization, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, amalgamation of multiple subjects in single learning environments for holistic learning experiences. Developing values of responsible usage. The metaverse undoubtedly offers many formidable value propositions, especially for bringing different concepts to life. However, it comes with other important concerns associated with unauthorized usage. With the use of blockchain-based identities, students can discover new opportunities for responsible use of the metaverse in the long run. Freedom to create and share. Remember show and tell back in school? You don't have to think of the use cases of metaverse in education as just the educational variants of online games. Users don't have to fall in line with the goals of the game's missions. On the contrary, students can create and share experience of their own and design learning experience that expand the freedom and flexibility in learning. The bottom line, the different elements associated with the use of metaverse for education showcase augmented reality, virtual reality, mirror worlds, and life logging. You can explore the different use cases of a metaverse in the gaming sector presently. On the other hand, the metaverse also has the potential to introduce new milestones for empowering learners. For example, you can access more immersive learning experiences with the help of the metaverse. In addition, it can help in a better simulation of real-world processes, systems, and objects for empowering learning. Furthermore, the metaverse can also help students document their learning experiences and enjoy the value of critical learning. Explore the other possibilities of implementing metaverse in the educational sector over the long run. Freedom to create and share. Oh, wait. Whoa. Why's this thing going backwards on me? Hold on. There we go. It would be a mistake for an education perspective to view the metaverse as all about virtual teaching or teaching in the virtual worlds. The metaverse is more about digital identity. Schools were very, very late to respond to the internet. Schools are generally behind the game. And what happens is kids figure it out long before teachers and principals and all of us as adults are ready to adopt it toward a better education. The metaverse infrastructure is largely still under construction. Can you imagine that? The internet still under construction. With tech companies like Meta and gaming platforms like Roblox experiencing growing pains as they expand the space. And so we return to that classroom surrounded by white walls that can transport children as if they live in the magical school bus. It's like, remember the Matrix? Remember when Morpheus was teaching Neo how to fight for the very first time, and they went into the construct, and then they went to on top of a building and tried to jump from one building to the other? It's going to be the same thing here, like a construct, transporting to different worlds. In this world, though, the teacher will not be a 2D, nor will he or she be an avatar. They will be a real human teacher helping children see beyond their own world into the future and past, and even more deeply into the present. In this world, I just had another thought. One of the most controversial things happening in America right now is book burning. Well, may not call it book burning, but we want to take books off the shelf because we don't like what they teach. I'm not going to get political. I'm just saying. Can you imagine what the metaverse could do? What are you going to do there? Burn the metaverse down? I don't want my kid to know about history. In this world, children will have firsthand experiences in foreign lands, master a broader suite of skills, and be better equipped to transfer what they learn into the real world of people and places. The metaverse is coming to education. The question is whether, as designers, policymakers, educators, and parents, we can mold intentional and appropriate opportunities that are truly educational within this new and exciting context. As a disclaimer, this information is intended for educational and training purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. As with all financial decisions, you should contact your licensed financial advisor before investing in any financial instrument. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of one of our lessons in the metaverse. What do you guys think? Did you like it? Did you learn something from it? Did you see how it was all done? That's just one out of 15. So how do you get your hands on these lessons? Well, let's first start off with come to the 5-day challenge this week. There's no cost to be in the 5-day challenge because I'm going to be covering 4 more lessons that are brand new, never before. I've never taught on them yet. 4 more, 2 NFTs and 2 other metaverse courses, just like that one. Tomorrow night, we're going to be covering the first NFT course, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. All you got to do to register at no cost, ilcachallenge.com. ilcachallenge.com. That's it. Register for free. You're going to get an email with an invite to our private Facebook group. And in our Facebook group, that is where it's going to be streamed live. But what if you have questions after a lesson like that? Like, how many of you right now may have some questions you'd love for me to go over and we keep it going? Those are for the VIPs. So when the first hour is up, I stop the live stream. And the VIPs stay on with myself, and you're going to be on with Dr. Byron Nelson tomorrow night. And we're gonna chop it up and ask questions. So that is for the VIP members. Only one time, $97, and you're a VIP for the rest of the year. All right? VIP for the rest of the year. Then you'll be able to ask questions and Q&A. I see somebody clapping. Hold on, I got to bring her on here and ask questions. Oh, don't run and hide. So I want to ask you a question, Ms. Casa, because you never saw any of these. I did not. Yeah, you're my executive assistant, but I did not give you a sneak peek or show you any of this. What do you think? Was that effective?
Very effective. I'm not only excited to get in there myself, but you have way more information than I could have ever expected. When you told me you're working on the metaverse, I thought, okay, let's see how far he goes into this. Seeing what you have there, you did a phenomenal job. I can't wait to get into it.
All right. Thank you. So, everybody else, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, all you got to do is register. Don't cost you nothing to do that. And share it with others. And we're going to have a great week. And then next week, all those courses themselves are going to drop. And January 10th, I will be doing a first course it's at evening time for our founding members, live training, just like I did right now, except you're going to be on the Zoom with me and you'll be able to ask questions. That is for our founding members or those that's doing the $199 a month. You're going to get access to that private training. So I'm looking forward to 2023. This is going to be a great year. I still see the crypto industry is going to be shaky. We have a good year and a half to accumulate before that next big run-up happens at the end of 2024. So let's have some fun with this. As you see, I enjoy this. I love the metaverse and NFT type stuff. I'm going to have no problem teaching you guys this. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. The link will be the same if you invite guests. Well, Mr. Albert, if you are a promoter of ILC, you will have your own link to use so that you get credit when you invite guests. Who wants to make $100,000 in 2023 selling picks and shovels? If you share ILCA with 100 people and they're on the $199 a month, you will make almost $100,000 for 2023. So I'm not looking for networkers. This is not a network marketing company. Influencers. Who do you know that has a community of people that need to get crypto educated? Who do you know that might be a pastor or got a Facebook page with 20,000 people in it or 50,000 YouTube followers and Twitter followers and Instagram? How would they like to monetize their list at no cost to them, really? One email blast out, you end up making 50 grand. So those are the ones I'm looking for. So if you know any influencers like that, communities that need crypto education, put them on the phone with me. And you're going to earn 20%. I put more money on the table this year as well, guys. Those of you that are promoters at the $199 level, you can earn up to 40% commissions, which means you're actually making more money than I take in after I got to deal with all expenses. So thank you guys for a great first year for Ivy League Crypto Academy. I can't wait for this year coming up and being able to teach you guys more. We've got a lot more content and fun things happening. And I will see you all tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Don't forget to register ilcasecrets.com/sales page so that you can be a VIP for the entire year and be a part of our ILCA community. Take care, everybody. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.